After a 1 hour delay due to rain at McLean Park, we finally have the toss. And New Zealand, rather than bucking the trend in Napier, they have chosen to bat against India. Tim Southee, the captain, came out of the toss and said that we just want to ensure that we set up a good total despite the weather being around. The simple change for New Zealand is that Kane Williamson is out and Mark Chapman comes in. That is the only change that is there in the New Zealand team. But in the Indian lineup, there is one change. Harshal Patel has replaced Washington Sundar. That is the only change that is there in the Indian team. And because of that, there is still no place for the likes of Umran Malik, Sanju Samson. So the batting lineup will remain the same as it was in Mount Maunganui, which is Ishan Kishan, Rishabh Pant, Shreyas Iyer, Suryakumar Yadav, Hardik Pandya. But now with Harshal Patel's inclusion, the batting depth has gained even more, with even Bhuvneshwar Kumar being able to bat. So these are the two changes that are there in both the New Zealand and the Indian side. Mark Chapman in place of Kane Williamson. Remember, Williamson was going to miss the third T20I anyways because of a medical appointment that he had much before. And the only change in the Indian lineup is that Harshal Patel finally gets a game in place of Washington Sundar. Remember, Harshal Patel did not play a single game in the ICC World T20 2022. He had to warm the bench along with Yajuvendra Chahal. Yuzi Chahal, on the other hand, finally got a game at Mount Maunganui, and it showed why India missed his services. He bowled brilliantly, took 2 for 26, and along with Deepak Hooda, essentially broke the back of the New Zealand batting. Yes, why no Sanju Samson? In the current scenario, where would you fit Sanju Samson? Because look, Ishan Kishan, Rishabh Pant, Shreyas Iyer, Suryakumar Yadav, Hardik Pandya, Deepak Hooda. Now you have Harshal Patel and Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Where will you fit the likes of Sanju Samson? Either you drop Rishabh Pant or Ishan Kishan, but with the new opening combination of Ishan Kishan and Rishabh Pant just getting a game 2 days back, it would have been harsh to immediately change the new combination. So that is the latest update from Napier. Remember, the square boundaries in Napier are incredibly short, 54 meters and 60 meters, but the straight boundaries are 77 and 80 meters. So that is the latest ground dimension that we have. On the other hand, if you have to say, no overs have been lost. Despite a 1 hour delay, no overs have been lost. It'll be a full 20 over game. So for people joining us right now, the only change in the Indian team is that.
What is the no questions coming in?
Well, why no Sanju Samson? Where would you fit Sanju Samson? That's what I'm wondering. Where will it be? So, see, so no Sanju. Why? And they're saying in place of Hooda. But Hooda did very well with the ball in the second T20, 4 for 10.
No, I think now you couldn't have done it because if you take a look at the change that they've made, they've reduced a spinner.
Spinner, yes.
So I think the change of them reducing one spinner has only come after the kind of confidence Hooda may have given in the previous game. If you remember yesterday when we were doing the dugout, I said the only one place you can take somebody out is Washington Sundar, and you can bring in a Sanju Samson. But they've gone with an extra bowler. But I think this is very interesting because it is giving you an insight into the thought process of a Hardik Pandya.
Yep.
So what is Hardik Pandya, the new captain, and possibly, we confirmed it yesterday, possibly the long-term captain for India.
Yep.
What is he telling you? He's telling you that I want cushion in my bowling. Unlike the previous management that had been looking at cushion in their batting, he is saying that I need cushion in my bowling. That is something that Hardik is making very clear. So today, even though we had thought that Washington Sundar could be that one guy you take out, you could have got a pure batsman, but he's again gone with a bowler. The interesting bit is he's gone. Why has he gone with
Harshal Patel?
Harshal Patel, because I think Harshal also gives him that kind of batting cushion.
Option.
So,
well, at the toss he was asked, we do, but with the grass on the McLean Park wicket, there could be some lateral movement for our pacers. We do keep the dimensions in mind, but we do have the skill set in our bowling lineup. We can't think too much about the conditions.
So the one other thing which is very interesting, I think, and it's an indication, we'll find out once the game starts. I think the indication is that most likely Hardik Pandya is not going to be bowling.
Yes.
Because if he was bowling, then you really didn't need that kind of cushion, because Bhuvneshwar is playing, Siraj is playing, Harshal is playing, So
Then you have
Arshdeep is
Arshdeep.
playing. So 4 options already there. If Hardik was also bowling, then I don't think they would have gone with a Harshal Patel.
Yes.
Then they would have definitely gone with a batsman in Sanju Samson. But the fact that they've not got it, which is a clear indication, which you can safely predict that you will not see Hardik Pandya bowl today.
Yep.
Your remaining 4 fast bowlers will be Harshal, Arshdeep, Bhuvneshwar Kumar
And
and
Siraj.
Mohammad Siraj. So the 4 fast bowlers. Then you've got one regular spinner in Yuzi Chahal and the other additional
Deepak Hooda.
spinner now in Deepak Hooda. So they've taken there. Also now if you look at this thing, if you were to say that you take a Washington Sundar out and we had thought of, let's say the other suggestion was bring a Sanju Samson in. Then where does Sanju Samson bat? Now you've got your openers in Ishan and Rishabh Pant.
Yes.
Then you've got Sky at number 3, Shreyas at number 4.
Or vice versa. Shreyas at
Whatever.
3, Surya at 4,
That doesn't matter. 4,
Hardik at 5.
Hardik 5,
Deepak
Deepak
Hooda at
Hooda
6.
6. So now people are already saying someone like a Deepak Hooda is batting too low
Yes.
at 6. Supposing you had got a Samsung in, then one of them would have had to bat at 7, whichever way. Would that be the right position for either Sanju or Hooda or Pandya, whoever? I'm just saying at number 7. Maybe not. So I think it's looking at the balance they've not been able to fit in. The only way now you could have fitted a Sanju then was not for Washington Sundar but for another batsman.
Maybe for the likes of either Ishan or Rishabh. But
Shreyas, whoever.
Yeah.
But I'm saying they won't, after one game also not fair
yeah, absolutely.
to just drop them. But I guess in ODIs, Sanju is probably
Well,
going to
Vaishnavi
get a
Swaminathan is echoing what DK had said.
What?
DK said, rest Surya and play Sanju. Man, that was
No,
radical.
no, which is true, which you can because if you're building a team for the
Yeah.
future, Surya Kumar is certain, right?
Yes.
As certain as the captain to play the team.
Yep.
So then you can, if you're trying to experiment with a few players, looking at who's the future, then you can do it. But I'm just saying, if I'm Surya Kumar Yadav, would I want to rest? Because I'm in the form of my life.
Yep.
I've already missed out on a lot of years of my
Yes.
career. I may not be playing cricket for very long, and I am anyway not part of the test squad.
Exactly.
Or the ODI squad, still playing T20. He will come in. I'm not saying that he will. But I'm saying he's going to say, I'm going to keep playing as many chances as I want. So,
Absolutely.
so it wouldn't have been that, misplaced. What Gambhir suggested this? No,
DK.
suggested, sorry. No, I don't think it's that radical.
Yeah, so but I think play with your best player. I mean, I also point out the folly of resting Surya because even the previous game, yes, Surya played that magnificent knock, but 111 of 51, the rest of the batting 69 of 69.
Yeah.
So you remove your best player, I don't
No,
think.
so that's what I'm saying. That the real test is the day he doesn't click,
Yep.
Surya, right? And that those days will come. Those are the days you want to see the rest of them take. See again, that intent if you want to show has to start from the openers. Okay,
Yes.
I'll give them some benefit here in New Zealand because with the new ball, first 6 overs are not easy. No matter who plays. First 6 overs with the new ball power play will not be easy. You saw it with the New Zealand innings as well.
Yes.
So will not be easy.
Yep.
But if they can find a way of after the first 6 over to keep attacking one after the other, maybe they can look at it.
Well, if Sanju people are very, very upset, there is even for, you may say, a slight bit of sadness for Umran Malik. Still no Umran Malik, as Yug Parmar is pointing out.
But I'm saying
Where will you play Umran Malik?
Yeah, I mean I'm saying I would also like to see Umran, but Harshal Patel was part of your World Cup squad. Didn't get a game there.
Yes.
Didn't get the first game there. He's barely made the 11.
Yep.
So
Exactly. Where will you play both Umran Malik and Sanju Samson? That is your major thing in this playing 11.
I'm just seeing if the game had started. No.
No. It'll start at 12. I mean, about half an hour's time. About 15 minutes time.
Yeah.
Luckily, oops, I think we have lost the Wi-Fi. Is it?
Are we back?
I think we are back, but then I think we'll end the connection here. So, no overs lost. We hope that India puts up a good fight today. Square boundaries at Wellington, not that great.
Shivraj Singh says, why Sanju all the time? They got space for Pant and Hooda every time, but not for Sanju since 2014. Very, very unfair. No, I take their comments. Everyone. Krishna Kumar says, justice for Sanju Samson.
Ever. Yes. All the time. Justice for Sanju Samson. So, hope you're good. Yes, Yug Parmar, he's well and truly great. Still recovering from a bit of jet lag from Australia, but he's fine.
Yes. No, I think I've kind of recovered. Today I slept like a baby. So
All the best in recovering from this cold. You don't
What
want to get
cold?
out of bed in this kind of
no,
chilly
I'm feeling
winter.
hot here. I'm coming from Australia, where I was wearing jackets.
Oh,
Here,
yeah,
look
it
at me
was-
today. I turned on the AC while coming in my car.
Oh my God. Okay.
Feeling hot.
Yep.
Australia was freezing.
You have to come by bike then.
Freezing.
Yes.
Akash points out, yes, it's
Yes.
Messi's match today.
Yep. Saudi Arabia versus Argentina at 3:30.
Leo Messi.
Yep.
Big build up today.
10 years later, they're going to clash, these two teams. And the last time it happened, it was 0-0. They had Angel Di Maria, they had Lionel Messi, yet they held them on for a 0-0 draw. But that was a friendly. World Cup, different dimensions altogether.
Yeah.
Yep. So we will be tracking that match also live, 3:30. It starts today. And we'll be also tracking the India versus New Zealand match as well.
Yug Parmar says, do a Sports Today meet and greet. Yeah, Yug will try and do that.
Yep.
Thank you for that suggestion. Okay, Sridhar Deshpande says, people are saying that it's the end of Bhuvaneshwar. He's just 32. If you can play, Ashwin, DK, Rohit, all 34 plus, why can't he play? I agree with you, Sridhar, but I think you're not even looking at some of those guys that you mentioned. So if you're looking beyond those guys that you just mentioned, even in their early 30s, then I think the same yardstick would apply to Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Also, I think as good as Bhuvneshwar, I think he has gone past his peak. He's not as penetrative, he's not as effective as he was around the 2015, 16, 17, those years. He was outstanding. I think the injuries, he's still very good. I'm not saying that, he's still one of the best bowlers, but I think if you see now, someone like an Arshdeep has come and kind of overshadowed him. Shami, who came at the last moment, also kind of performed better. And you have to look at a lot of youngsters going forward. If you're building the team for 2 years, don't think of it as today, 2 years later. So you need to give some young guys who are upcoming some game time, some game experience. So you got to start now.
Absolutely.
Not late.
Oh man, Australia, yes, Yug Parmar, they are on fire actually. 2 quick wickets, but 270 for 2. Travis said 152, David Warner 106.
I'm still saying, and I said this earlier, England are world champions, played very well, deservedly, have lifted the trophy. But had that game happened, Australia, England, the whole tournament could be very different.
Yes.
Very different. I think Australia, in that sense, unlucky that one bad game they had and they lost with such a huge margin against New Zealand, just, threw open the tournament, and also then the next game getting washed out because of rain. So had that
Very,
England-Australia
very sad.
game happened, and there was a good chance Australia could have beaten England in their home condition, the whole tournament would have been very different.
Indeed. So we'll take your leave at this point in time.
Why do you want to take their leave, yeah? The game is still yet to
Warner,
start.
36 years old, plays T20 by Kohli, Manpreet Singh.
No, but I am not Manpreet. Again, you should not look at the age. I agree with you. Even Surya Kumar. I am saying, if you have decided, see again, it's for the team to decide. Do you want to? What has happened in your 2 World Cups? You have realized that you are behind the curve in the format, in the T20 format, you're behind the curve. You've realized that's the problem. So what do you want to do? Do you want to continue with that trend where you will have anchors in your team? Or do you say no? I'm saying you're looking at the best T20 teams in the world, right? They are all playing full attacking cricket and there is no scope for anchors. Everyone that will go. Now this is for the team to decide. I think Virat had a great tournament, and if you still think that there is a need that one guy around whom the innings can revolve and rest of them play attacking cricket, maybe that's a valid thing. You could go ahead with that. Or do you want to go England's way, where everyone plays that kind of cricket from top to bottom? And I'm saying on conditions that are very difficult or change. So their players will change, like a Ben Stokes will change according to the conditioner. But the thing is, Ben Stokes also has a different gear.
Yep.
Moeen Ali also has a different gear. On a different day, he can play differently. I am saying, do you want to have people that can play in a certain way, or do you want people who have that 5th or 6th gear, which is, 200 strike rate from the word go?
Yep.
You have to decide. I'm not saying every time that will happen, but you want a team of guys with that sort of an ability from top to bottom. If that's the way you want to go, then you go. You gave an example of David Warner. Doesn't David Warner have that gear of batting at that kind of a strike rate from the word go? He has it. Okay. Now, if you're comparing Warner to Virat Kohli, does Virat Kohli have that gear? He does not. I'm not saying Virat is still one of the best T20 batsmen in the world, and maybe you're right that he can still fit into the team, provided everyone else has that gear, and you still see a space for someone like a Virat. Sure enough. But if you're saying, no, I want to change my thinking completely and only go with players who have that fifth or sixth gear, which is to say, and by the way, this is not something I'm saying, it's by Virat's admission. He has said, how did, just go back, Virat explained how did he get back into form. He said that I was trying to play out of my natural game. That is, I was trying to hit out from the beginning. Then he said in the Asia Cup when he got runs, he said, I realized for myself that, listen, that's not my game. My game is finding gaps, taking doubles, twos. Then once I'm get in the flow, then I go hammer and tongs. So he realized this game, he made peace with it, and he started playing like that, and it helped India do well in a lot of matches. It'll still help India doing a lot of matches. I am saying you as a team have to decide whether you want a player like that in your team. If you do, then great, then fit Virat in and then have everyone else play in a different way. But if you're saying no, like a Hardik Pandya has just said what is the kind of team you want, so you want to change your thing, then you have to tell everyone, no matter who he is, that everyone, I need a player with that ability to go at, hammering fours and sixes from the start. If you want that, then no matter who a player is, he may not fit in. So again, this is for something the team management decide, but you have to draw a distinction between a Warner and Virat because you made that comparison.
Yep. Sridhar Deshpande. Look at Sky versus Sanju. Both fought for a place in 11, but at least Sanju finds place in squad. But Sky was completely neglected. A team also.
Initially,
yes.
yeah. But see, that's what I'm saying. So if that was the case, what did a Suryakumar Yadav do? A Suryakumar Yadav did find himself being one of many. Maybe he sat himself down and said, "Listen, I am one of many. I am." Competing with a Shreyas Iyer, with a Sanju Samsung, with a Deepak Huda. There were so many other names that have, there was Venkatesh Iyer at the time. There was Vijay. I'm just saying he's from that generation where there was Ambati Raidu, Dinesh Karthik. So many players were fighting for those middle slots.
Middle order slots.
And what Suryakumar was offering was give or take the same thing that all these players that I mentioned offered. Dinesh Karthik included. What did Dinesh Karthik and Suryakumar Yadav change in their batting? They said that, listen, you have to take the game to another level. We have to be something that is not then in the bunch. We are a cut above and everyone says, wow, this is amazing. So this is why I give credit to Dinesh Karthik, even though he realized it much later in his career, and Suryakumar Yadav, that they said, okay, we are going to be those game changers. The guys who can play 15 balls get you 45 runs or 40 runs. We will be the guys who can play at 200 strike rate from the word go because there are not too many in Indian cricket at the moment. As soon as they did that, Indian cricket had no option but to go to that. So that is what they did. That was the big difference. Bad news, Drizzle is back.
Oh my goodness. The drizzle is back at McLean Park, and if it doesn't clear up soon, then we may start to lose overs then.
Right now, full 20 over game. Toss has happened.
Yes.
And India has made one change.
Harshal Patel in place of Washington Sundar.
And who's batting?
And New Zealand are batting. Kane Williamson.
Who won the...
New Zealand won the toss and chose
they
to
decided bat. Interesting, huh?
Very.
After that. I tell you why. Because I remember Kane Williamson last time in the game said that, listen, because there's a bit of weather around us, we don't know if it's going to rain, so we prefer chasing because conditions might keep changing. This time, similar situation, but I think once bitten, twice shy. He's realized that, hey, chasing we couldn't do so.
Maybe the Suryakumar threat also. I think they are
exactly.
rattled.
That's what I'm saying. Once bitten, twice shy. So you realize that time. Because similar conditions, uncertain weather, Williamson comes and says, hey, we will chase. Which is a valid point, right? Because targets change, conditions change. So you thought. This time, same thing, but he's, after that match, saying, no, let's bat first.
The Surya threat, indeed. So...
no Williamson.
That's what I said, So Mark Chapman is in, and Tim Southee will captain, and Mark Chapman
So maybe
is
change of captain has prompted this change of thinking.
No, so I think they are still spooked by Surya. Still spooked by his now. Because where would you bowl? I mean, Ravi Shastri on air, he mentioned, like, if you want to bowl to Surya today, it's like bowling to a revolving door.
That's
Vintage quote. But yes, I mean, where do you bowl to this guy? Whatever he will do, he'll hit it out of the park.
Yeah. Okay. YSJ Boy says, after Virat, I think Warner is the second best player in all format combined in this era. Actually, I think he makes a valid point.
Yeah.
All format player? Yeah.
Got to check that. Yes. Because he's not played that much of ODIs, although Warner.
Yeah.
But in tests, had a lull, but he's back. T20Is was consistent, but again, he's not been as consistent.
He won the World Cup, but 12 months ago, yeah.
12 months. A different
So
era
what?
altogether.
So what? No, he's right. I think all format player, one
Yeah,
of the best. If
one
there
of
is
the best,
Virat,
yes.
then I think Warner is up there.
Yep.
I think sometimes we do a bit of disservice to Warner and don't count him in those when the Fab Four discussion and all is to happen. I think Warner was also there. I think what really goes against David Warner is his bad boy image and things like that. But otherwise,
We hope that Australia lift that ban on him, leadership ban. He's
Yeah.
your...
so for example, I'll give an example of Steve Smith. Yes, he scores a lot of test runs. But is he as impactful in T20? No. But Warner is equally impactful, whether it's
Very,
T20 or
very.
Test cricket. So
Not bad for a guy who never played a first-class game.
King D is saying they're still playing safe cricket. Is Iyer a T20 player for the long run? King D, again, I think it'd be a bit unfair to pass a judgment on him early. You ask my personal opinion, I wouldn't bet on him. Let me just put it as bluntly as that. But I can't blame the team management because if you take a look at some of his numbers, they're not bad. So, I mean, yes, we talk about his problem against short pitch bowling, but he'll say, hey, whatever, short pitch or not, please take a look at the number of runs I've got and the strike rate that I've got, and I think those are pretty impressive if I'm not mistaken. The other thing is, you've been unfair to him also. He plays, gets dropped, he's always, part of that revolving door.
Yep.
So, he's also not got a long run. So, I think you've got to be, we often say this here on Sports Today, you got to look to select players rather than reject players. So, but that is happening because you have too many options. So, you take a call on him for sure in the long term, but at least give him a long-term chance.
Yes,
I
indeed.
think his problem against short pitch bowling is there.
It's there.
Yeah, but then he's also got run. I'm saying if I'm the batsman and I have a problem, I'll say fine. You keep saying this. Compare my numbers to a few other guys.
Yep.
He's done well.
He's done really well. But yeah, frustratingly, the drizzle has
Tell
returned.
me, Shreyas Iyer's T20 figures, please.
Yep. Why the rain? And the covers are...
Krishna, I think you're right. I think Sanju's going to get
Yeah.
game time in the ODI series. Yeah, that's what is going to happen.
And he will be your designated finisher.
1043 runs from 48 matches. Average 31.61, strike rate 136.16.
Yeah.
That is decent.
So he's averaging 31 at a strike rate of 136.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, not bad.
Not bad at all.
Bad numbers.
Yeah, I mean, despite all the struggles, his numbers do make for some very good reading.
Yeah.
But again, how big or how short a rope is for players in this team, we just don't know.
Yeah.
Because everybody will then say, Rishabh won 60 games close to T20 Ice, but he's not had that impact yet. So what do you do then? How long can you persist then? Oh man, I think the drizzle stopped.
So I think they were going to give. Sridhar says is fast tracking players from under 19 good. I don't know. I think it has to be case to case because some people can be outstanding and have been in the past.
Yep.
So while some take time.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the last four, ever since 2008, the golden bunch of Virat Kohli, Ravindra Jadeja, started playing international cricket in 1 year.
Yeah.
Rohit Sharma also in that 2006
very
batch, 1 year. But KL Rahul, Mayank Agarwal from 2010 batch took some time, 2-3 years. None from 2012, although Hanuma Vihari got a chance much later. 2014 Sanju, you're seeing what has happened. Kuldeep also 3 years later, 2-3 years later.
Yeah.
None from 2020, Bishnoi in 1 year.
Yeah.
And also 2022, none yet so far. The likes of Rajendra Bawa, Yash Dul, they haven't gotten a chance yet. So, case to case, I think 2008 and 2006 were the luckiest batches as far as producing talent is concerned. 2018, Shubman Gill 1 year, Prithvi Shaw also 1 year. 1 year, give them a year max, that's all I will say.
Sarthak, interesting point. He says, my lineup would be Shaw, Pant open, Kohli 1 down, Surya 2, Pandya, Iyer 3, 4 plus Jadeja and then Chahal, Arshdeep, Bumrah and Bumrah. Interesting.
That's a good
Interesting,
team.
yeah.
That is a pretty good team. You got all your bases covered.
But he's discarded
Deepak
KL
Hooda.
Rahul, he's discarded Deepak Hooda. Yeah.
Who can
This is a very good question, Akash. Who can replicate the image
yeah.
of Ronaldo and Messi in cricket? Virat and Steve? Whoa.
Nah.
But you know what? I tell you why. Nobody can. I'll tell you why also. I'll give you a reason why. Firstly, there are no two distinct players that are there. And secondly, in cricket, most of these guys do come together and these pictures are there. In football, they have been like rivals, and rarely have they been pictured together, apart from like Ballon d'Or functions and stuff like that. Never really in personal, capacity. So, which is why that picture went viral, because it's such a rare picture. In cricket, you do get these because they play multinational tournament. They often, I think the one image which could be big, and it's not because of the stature of player, but because of the rivalry, is, let's say, a Virat Babar, sort of a thing, because it's India, Pakistan, two batsmen, something like that could be. But there is no two distinct, like it could have been like a Sachin Lara, or a Vaughan Sachin or something like that. Those images could be, but even then, they were there. Even when they were playing, you could get certain images. They would be, pictured together, talking casually. In Messi and Ronaldo's case, rarely happens.
The 6th most popular photo in the history of Instagram.
And it can go
up,
higher.
yeah,
It's just been like 2-3 days, so look at it in 6 months' time, you won't know where it is.
Chess game, and what a position they picked.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
I saw. Please see the video that Siddharth
Yeah,
has made.
it also speaks about the awareness. Like, okay, they had to pick that, but the research done was fantastic.
It's Louis Vuitton.
Oh yeah.
You think it's like anybody?
And I
The
think it
Sports
is-
Today was making the picture of.
But I think it's the same photograph. I think even did the one where Zidane, Pele, and Maradona playing futsal. There was one image of that also, right?
I don't know. I can't remember.
But it did come together one shoot. Zidane, Pele, and Maradona playing futsal. I think that was one image also which was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chalo. What is our
Well,
addiction to
the-
dibbly-dobbly medium pacers?
Dibbly dobbly. Oh boy. No one produced it better than the Kiwis. No one did. Gavin Larson, Chris Harris. Wow. Ultimate. Okay, the ground stuff, the super soppers, I use the rope is going around. I think we might have action soon.
Oh, super.
Yeah, it was just a faint drizzle. I think it's stopped now.
Chalo.
Yep, they're all
Okay.
coming out. The umpires are also coming out. So we'll
Game's
be
about
back.
to start. Take care. See you in the mid innings.
Yeah, in
Bye-bye.
that chess game, Messi was a bishop down.
Yeah.
Yes. Thanks. Bye bye.
Vanakkam.